We are talking about, yes, you see it correctly, when and how can CRO Coin get back to $1? We're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about senators coming out against crypto, even though 2 and 3 congressmen were given money by a large crypto exchange. Boy, we got a lot to talk about. And of course, I'm joined by my partner on the channel, partner in crime, Blacksea. How we doing, my brother?
I'm doing great, guys. Let's smash that like button up. Let's get this party started. Super excited to give you guys the news and what's going on about CRO Coin, the crypto market, and what's going on.
Got a lot happening, guys. A lot happening, a lot of exciting stuff to talk about. Of course, the crypto market's still above $1 trillion, but make sure you guys do subscribe. We're almost at 7,000 subscribers. When we hit 10,000 subscribers, we're giving away $1,000 worth of Bitcoin to one lucky subscriber, and we're giving away more here, which we'll talk about later on in this stream. So smash up the like, guys. Let's peek, I guess, Blacksea at this market cap. Looking strong at $1.04 trillion. Pretty decent. You got Bitcoin above 23K today. You know, how about the so the Bitcoin futures right now coming out to an end on Friday? 22K is kind of that target. I mean, do you think that it's not going to actually get down to 22K, or do you think we actually saw that dip and it's
No,
over?
I honestly am not that worried about going to 22K. I would honestly welcome it. I would welcome consolidation between the 22 and 23K mark. I'm absolutely fine with that. I'm still holding firm on that price target of 19,500. As long as we don't break below that, I'm bullish, guys. I'm bullish.
Yep. I'm feeling good. I mean, even if we do tap down here, who cares? You know, that would be, if anything, healthy and give us more room for upside. We do have the Fed and the FOMC meeting coming out, which we're going to talk about later in this stream a little bit. But guys, we got to talk a little bit about CRO Coin because, yes, Binance coins up 3% over the last 7 days, back to $300. But remember this, CRO Coin's got a smaller market cap. It moves a little bit stronger, up 10% over the last 7 days. So it is a bigger move. But I will note this too. It dropped in rank a little bit. You know, we've heard a lot about NEAR. We've heard about OKX. You know, that's another exchange token that's kind of coming up here as of late. ApeCoin took a big rise up as well. That's, you know, kind of a meme token, I guess, but also some legitimacy, I guess, with the Bored Ape Yacht Club token. But Blacksea, Cronos at rank number 32. We were in the 20s. What happened? Are you worried, or what's going on?
First off, I'd like to say that 32, 33, some of my lucky numbers, but I will also say that, you know, we're looking good. 8 cents. We're broken above the 8 cents mark on our way to fair value of between the 12 and 16 cent price range. We're okay, guys.
Yeah.
Does the ranking of coins doesn't really necessarily matter. If as long as we're in the top 100, I'm okay. And I think that, quite frankly, come this next bull run, I'm sure we'll be in the top 20, top 10. I won't be surprised at all if we get back up there.
I'd really like to see us in the top 10. I don't see why not. Binance having its own, so Binance, biggest exchange, right? Cronos, one of the bigger smart platforms you can go out on. Obviously, crypto.com is one of the largest exchanges. It really makes a lot of sense. We're going to look at actually some historical prices for Binance to get an understanding of where CRO can go later in the stream. But yeah, I mean, Blacksea, I'm looking at this wick here at 8.5 cents, and I'm so excited. But I think this Bitcoin futures thing for Friday, which is tomorrow, you know, that is going to be a big thing that we're kind of waiting on. So I don't think we're going to get a huge pump in this live stream. I don't think we're going to get a huge pump until after, you know, markets close tomorrow, or maybe even on the weekend if we do start moving up. So I'm on the lookout for that. But obviously,
I would like to make a comment about the weekend
yeah,
trading because, the name of the game has been usually you don't trade on the weekends when it comes to crypto, but because the price action is really unpredictable and it usually ends up where it left off on Friday come the Monday open. But I'll be honest with you, the past couple weeks now, we've had some significant price action during the weekend, and it's held up very well
yeah.
throughout the week. So I am very curious to see what is in store for us this weekend after the expiration of the futures for Bitcoin. Very, very, very curious to see.
Yeah, that's a good call, and you've been saying that a lot in your videos, and that's really remained true. But for me, I think that's been the most true, obviously lately, with this bear market. I think that's what you get as soon as the excitement's over. You really don't get a lot of weekend trading. Probably, I guess, because like the regular markets are closed, and that's not really saying how the bulls and the bears are feeling. And so the excitement's out of the market. So why am I going to trade this, this stuff that made me broke on the weekends? It says everybody in a bear market. But now I feel like as we're getting towards the bull market, these weekends could start to be more and more bullish. I really feel like in these bull markets, we see some of the best gains. So that's a great point, though, because in the bear markets, I feel like the weekends are lame. In the bull markets, we have a lot of fun on the weekend.
Yeah. You know what it really is too is during the week. The reason why originally why the trading, the price action on the weekends isn't really there is because all the hedge fund guys go home and have the weekend off, and the quote unquote big money is not being tossed around in the market. But I will say that what's bigger than quote unquote big money? Retail FOMO.
Oh, yeah.
So be prepared for that. Keep your eyes open on the weekend when things like that happen.
And be on the lookout for institutional FOMO, something that we barely kind of started to see at the end of the last bull market. And I think there's a chance that we could be seeing some really, really big moves here in this next bull run, especially after the disaster that was the FTX collapse, of just cleaning out the market, fresh start. We were talking a little bit about how the last bull market got suppressed because of the COVID crash earlier, Blacksea, and totally, the market was starting to turn up. COVID crash came down, and we went back up. We made all-time highs again for Bitcoin and crypto, but I would argue that
V-shaped recovery.
Yeah, but I would argue that it should have been a higher peak, but COVID kind of stalled that out. We've got over the FTX disaster ahead of the next bull market. Unless some other black swan event comes, are you feeling more bullish this time, or is that's too soon? Maybe I don't know.
I know. I am. I will be honest. I've got my moon boy pants on,
yes.
And I think that guys, hive mind consciousness. I used to talk about this a lot in my videos early on, and it's time to talk about that again a little bit because when everybody's thinking one thing, usually the opposite happens. Especially when it comes to the psychology behind the markets. And basically, everyone's talking about, like 2023, recession times. Oh, doom and gloom. Oh, everybody's going to be homeless. Oh, no. Guys, I'm seeing some bullish price action here, and we are testing on the S&P 500 a very, very bearish trend line, and we're testing it to the bullish side. If we break through the resistance on the S&P 500, we're creating higher lows, and it kind of looks like some significant bullish divergence. So I don't know. We could see some pretty heavy momentum to the upside for risk-on assets, and that includes Bitcoin and crypto.
You love to see it. And I'm really excited about Fed Chair Jerome Powell, which I want to kind of go into detail here later on, but we'll kind of get to that. I think it's a big factor right now for sure. So I see in the chat we got Texas Crypto. Good to have you, Francisco Gabriel. Thanks for hopping in. HHH. I think HHH wants to talk about some VVS Finance, which we'll talk a little bit about later on here for you, brother. We got JG, Chef Bunny, Super Zan. Good to have the fam. Thanks for hopping in, guys. But let's check out some of these items we have to go over for y'all. So obviously, Crow, we're looking for some upside. We're looking for that dollar price, guys. Remember, Crow hit almost $1, right? Back in the last bull market, we hit 94 cents. So typically, you see Bitcoin. Bitcoin's always broken its previous all-time highs, and 90% of the top 50 altcoins hit their all-time highs. There's exceptions, right? Ripple. I don't think Litecoin did. I think somebody else wanted us to talk about Litecoin, Blacksea. So I want to humor somebody. Now, what we want to do on this channel, guys, is please leave us comments along the side of the stream. Leave us a super chat too. Let us know your questions. Leave us a comment on our regular videos because we want to do the content you guys want us to cover. So Litecoin's an interesting example. Personally, I'll tell you this. I don't like Litecoin, and I'm sorry to shatter some hearts out there. But the founder of Litecoin was a shady guy. As soon as I see somebody shady involved with a project or doing something shady, I'm not a fan. Look into the history of the founder of this project. He did some shady stuff, and I believe that's why you saw some of the price action you saw last bull market. It did break its previous all-time high, but look at this peak compared to that peak. It only broke it by, a couple bucks, really. I mean, $50 past the previous all-time high. Look at Bitcoin. You're better off buying Bitcoin when it comes to looking for, higher gains, right? I mean, Bitcoin, this is its previous peak. Look at how much higher it went than its last peak. And same thing with Binance, same thing with Ethereum, So be careful, guys, and really look to the founders of these projects to see what's going on. That's why I like crypto.com so much. It's got, a lot of regulatory approval in some of these countries, but Litecoin looks a little bit troubling to me, to be honest. I mean, it didn't really smash its previous all-time high. You could argue that it's due for a pump because of that, but then I look to the past of the project, and I don't like what I see. Blacksea, you know what I'm talking about? I think his name's Charlie. I can't remember his last name.
I remember back in 2017 when honestly, like the only things really to buy were the only thing that was worth value buying was like Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Ethereum, and I remember when it came out that I think he was the founder, or I think he was the head or the founder of Litecoin. He was like, I sold all my stuff. I sold all my Litecoin. And
right,
I'm like, wow.
Right.
Like,
he sold all his coins. How does that give me confidence?
Why?
Yeah. Well, it's going up too. So it's not like he sold it because you could take that from two approaches, right? One, I sold it because I don't want to have to rug pull everybody. Well, you sold it, and so you did rug pull everybody. That's the other side. It's like, I sold it so you don't have to worry about me rug pulling. But didn't you just rug pull then? Yes.
Yeah.
So, Litecoin, not a fan for that alone. No matter what they're doing, no matter what's coming next. I think it's Charlie Lee. I think maybe it was, but I don't like the founder. Therefore, I don't like. There's so many other great projects. I choose Bitcoin over Litecoin, right? I'll go with Ethereum over Litecoin. There's so many other projects I'm going to choose over Litecoin. VVS Finance, arguably more upside than Litecoin. Probably significantly more risk. Will Litecoin go up? Yeah, it probably will, to be honest with you, because there's a huge army behind Litecoin. It's a higher market cap coin than a VVS Finance. But honestly, a VVS Finance, which is the top DEX on Cronos, I think there's a lot of upside for that. Cronos, I think there's a lot of upside too. So let's talk a little bit about that. Let's look at Binance, and then let's look at Cronos. So if Cronos were to take the market cap of Binance, which is a very tall order, guys, because $2 billion market cap versus a $41 billion market cap. But if it got the market cap of $41 billion, it would be worth $1.63. Now remember, this is at the current prices. If crypto.com and Binance experience a bull market that's coming up, we know that these projects are going to 10 to 20, possibly even 50x, if not more, from the lows at least, right? And so I'm kind of talking to anybody who's been buying these projects at current prices or at the bottom of this market. But let's just assume, right, because we know, this is not an assumption, we know that Binance has about 150 million users, and we know that Cronos and crypto.com specifically has about 80 million users. Does that mean it's half as valuable? I'd like to argue that it is. And so if you take half of the market cap of Binance, you get to 80 cents, guys. You get to 80-cent Crow. And if you take a 10x, a conservative 10x, right, for the next bull market, you're looking at an $8 Crow from there. Or, that's insane to think about. That's insane to think about. Now, I don't think that we're necessarily going to get an $8 Crow, but I'm just trying to give you guys an idea of these market caps will fly. And for Cronos to get to a $20 billion market cap to possibly a $50 billion market cap, it's possible. It's possible. And
it's definitely possible.
Yeah,
it's definitely possible.
But see, do you hear what I'm saying with these users? I mean, is that a far-fetched thing? Really?
No, I don't think it's far-fetched at all. I think that honestly, I think there's so much more money to flow into the crypto space right now. I think that there's no reason why you won't see Binance at a. I know I'm going to sound like a crazy moon boy when I say this, but I don't see why there's no reason why Binance doesn't eventually hit $1 trillion market cap.
Oh
It's
yeah.
going to be the leader in the space. And if Binance has a market share of $1 trillion market cap, what does that mean for CRO Coin? What does that mean for crypto.com? I would bargain to say at least a $200 billion market cap.
At
And what
least
does that bring us to?
it,
It brings us up there. It brings us up there near the $10 range. And I don't think that's far fetched at all. I really don't. This is a huge emerging asset class, and institutional adoption is going to come in. It's coming in right now, honestly. Throughout this bear market, I've seen more and more institutional adoption, and it's going to come in, and it's going to come in quick.
Yep. And you know what? That's a great point too. Like, let's get even more conservative about it. Let's say, Binance 10x's. I think that's very feasible. Literally, guys, you're looking at a $400 billion market cap, almost $500 billion. That's insane to think about, okay? But again, if CRO was half as valuable as Binance, and Binance gets to $400 billion market cap, if CRO gets a $200 billion market cap, guys, you're actually talking about 100x on CRO. You're talking about 100x on CRO, and you are talking about huge price levels for that coin, guys. And that makes, how many CRO coins do you need to be a millionaire? A lot less than if it only goes to $2, right?
I mean, 100x is what, $8?
It's insane. It's $8 from here. It's an $8 CRO. Could you imagine if you have 100,000 CRO coins, guys? You actually will have at that point have, I think, $8 million. Is that correct? I think it's $8 million at that point. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. But a lot of money. You will have a lot of money. I think it's extremely feasible, guys, and there's a couple reasons why. One, 5 years ago today, Binance Coin, CRO fam, smash the like button, guys. It was at $13. It's at $300. CRO Coin's at 8 cents today. What will it be at in 5 years? I mean, at least above $1. At least above $1. Look at the rise out of Binance. It's got a almost $50 billion market cap. It's the third biggest project, fourth biggest under Tether, but it's the fourth biggest market cap in all of crypto. I don't see why CRO and crypto.com couldn't get into the top 10. Binance Coin was just an exchange. They launched Binance Smart Chain. That brought a huge amount of traffic to the ecosystem. And remember, guys, Cronos is one of the top 10 DeFi projects as well. Blacksea, I know you remember. Remember when we were looking at this Binance coin and saying,
I'll say it. Every time we talk about Binance, in the back of my mind, I'll always think this is the coin that got away from me.
Yep.
This is the coin that got away from me because sure, I was new to the crypto space and I didn't really know what I was looking at, but I had a chance to buy Binance in the pennies. Not really. I think 18 cents is what I was looking at. I had a chance to buy Binance at 18 cents and definitely the coin that got away from me.
Yep.
But I've learned from it, and guess what? I own CRO now.
Yep. I mean, if we can even get a fraction of the meteoric gains that we saw out of Binance for CRO, which I don't see why not. I mean, it's the largest project on Cosmos, which is awesome to see. It's one of the top 10 DeFi projects. And guys, remember this crazy event we had. I mean, we've seen CRO move in a big way. I mean, we look back at this bull run, guys. This was an insane time. We went from October 26th to November 26th, basically, and it went up like 80 cents, basically. Like almost 80 cents. That is insane to think about, and that's in a month's time. So we are looking to get back to fair value first. And then we start thinking about this equation with Binance and CRO and the amount of users. $1 CRO is coming. It's coming. And if it doesn't come, it's because crypto.com has had to have made a serious mistake, which we haven't seen them do yet. They survived a bank run. We look at the history of Binance Coin. We see the meteoric gains that it had. It's coming, guys. They're the same company, guys. Big exchange, big smart contract play, Binance Smart Chain versus Cronos. It's coming. I can't say how high it's going to go, but we just talked about an $8 crow. Maybe. Dollar crow, though, we're going to crush it. We're going to crush a dollar crow. This isn't financial advice, guys, but I'm trying to put it into perspective. Blacksea and I have been in these markets since 2016, since Bitcoin was at $400, since Ethereum was at $40. We were looking at Ethereum. That's insane, guys. We've been through this. I'm telling you, bull markets, and this isn't even a bull market yet. The prices are going up, but we're not calling it a bull market. It's not even technically a bull market yet. How insane are these? We had a 40% gain this month on Bitcoin, Blacksea. 40% gains.
The people buying now are going to be rewarded. The people that are around in the bear markets are going to be rewarded the most, and it's rightfully so, because there's so many people get shaken out from the bull market down to the bear market, and the people that start buying in the bear market, that's where millionaires are made. That's where generational wealth is made, honestly.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. We're going to make that wealth, Pro Fam. We're going to make that wealth. And Texas Crypto, calling it out, likes this new commercial. Yes, you see Messi's jersey. This is actually spectacular. Paris is getting sponsorship, a commercial associated with Crypto.com. Great to see. Coming after the FIFA World Cup. Really great. And they're going to be posting this on their social media as well with 3.8 million followers. This is great. More advertising campaigns, more push to get to that $1, $2, $5, $8 crow. We'll see. But keep this in mind, guys. We talked a little bit earlier about institutional investors and how they're coming out of the woodwork, and they're going to be coming in a big way. And hopefully we can see some FOMO out of these institutions as well. Remember, guys, Crypto.com Institutional has its own Twitter page, guys. 26.8K followers, which is nothing yet. But leading into this bull run, I wouldn't be surprised to see that track up. We'll start following them, actually, so I can track that for you guys. But what I want you to know is this exchange is coming. Now, it's already available for institutional investors, which is great to see. But for people in the U.S., it's coming, okay? This is only a matter of time. When you look on the website, trade with confidence on the world's fastest and most secure crypto exchange. Coming soon to the United States. Priority access for institutional investors. Now, a lot of people complain about Crypto.com being bad for trading. It is bad for trading. It's a great place to buy coins. It's a bad place for trading. Crypto.com exchange would be a spectacular place for trading because it's a legitimate exchange at that point, not just an onboarding ramp. And so this is what you see, the order books. This is what's available for institutions. And this is what's coming in the pipeline, guys. And so if this launches during the next bull market and you're able to use this exchange in the US, oh, man. I mean, that could be a catalyst in itself to get us up to $1. Could you imagine if this was launched?
I think that this is what they need. Like, this is something, as you said, it would be a catalyst, because this is what they really need in the US to really different strokes for different folks. Some people want to buy coins and sit on them, but there are a lot of people that want to trade. And I will say this, Crypto.com will make a significantly larger revenue source from a exchange like this, the new exchange, than with just their onboarding ramp. It will make them way, way, way more money, way higher level of transactions. Yep. There's going to be more fees on not as an increment amount, but as a volume amount.
That's a great point.
They're going to make so much more money.
Now, and I totally agree with you. And I bet a lot of people out there wonder, well, the fees are already so ridiculous on the main app that how could they possibly make more money? Well, I would agree with the people that might have that, but let me counter it and agree with you, Blacksea, because though they're probably making an absolute killing on the main app right now with the trading, because don't trade on that exchange. It's not a good place to trade right now on the main app. When they offer this exchange, though they'll be taking lower dollar amount in terms of fees and a lower cut, the volume, the actual volume, the amount of users that come into the fold, the amount and the size of the transactions that occur, even if they're taking less of a cut or they get less dollars from each individual transaction, they'll get more volume, and I believe this will be something that will take them to the absolute next level. I totally agree with you, Blacksea. I think that even if they take less of a fee, they will just get a mass volume of fees, and they'll come out bigger than ever before and get to that. That's really how they have to get to that Binance level. They're never going to get to that Binance level unless they launch this for you and me.
Yeah, Crow Dad says they removed the loan feature in leverage trading, and he's in Canada. That's very interesting. I know that the regulation in Canada is pretty strict, but I will say that they need to, call leverage trading whatever you want. If it's bad or good, call it whatever you want. I think it's an extremely useful tool, but I think that they really need to have the ability to use that tool so that they can really, have as many users as they possibly can. If they really want to get that billion user mark, you need to have everything that everybody needs. And I know that's a tall ask, but I mean, Binance is doing it. They need to compete. They need to be doing the same thing and be doing a better job if they want to be competing for that top spot.
But I'll say this too, I'm glad to see that they're doing that in Canada. It stinks for anybody in Canada, but if Canadian regulators say do this or else, you're going to want to see crypto.com comply, because you still want them to have access to that Canadian customer base. And so we don't want them to box themselves out by saying, no, we're doing leverage trading. And then Canada goes, okay, you want to do leverage trading, then you're not allowed to operate in our country at all. So I'd rather see them comply. But that comes down to, Canada and the US, very strict on leverage trading. They do not want you to leverage trade, which stinks. And that's, again, the government telling us what we can and cannot do with our money. And our two governments, Canada and US, both love to tell you what you can and cannot do at every corner of your life, right? But I think that probably Binance isn't doing leverage trading in Canada, I would imagine. Maybe Crodad, if you can tell me that in the chat, I'd like to know. But Nazar is actually using the exchange, Blacksea. He put in the chat in the UK. How is that for you, Nazar? Let us know in the chat. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Let us know how you like that app. And if there's leverage trading for you where you're at in the UK. Very curious to see that. But remember, guys, we're talking about a lot of partners. We're talking about this exchange launch. We got the new ad campaign coming out with Paris, which is great. But we've got all these other partnerships, obviously FIFA, F1, UFC. And, you can keep counting the rest, guys. But so many reasons why we're going to get to $1, guys. But let's look at this. Let's look at history here. So we have seen back in 2019, remember, the bull market was in 2017 and in 2020 and 2021, okay? So back in 2017, bull market, and then the markets started to crash and they came back down. And so we had quite a bit of bearish months in a row. Then we got into 2019, and all of a sudden when the markets rebound, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green months in a row. 11%, 7%, 34%, 52%, 26%. A couple red months, not that bloody. Another good month, and then followed by a couple red ones, and then big green months, followed by a little bit of red. So that was the next bull market leading into it, right? We are getting started for the next bull market. Whether you're ready or not, here it comes. The Bitcoin halvings coming up in March of 2024. And we are trying to move up back to fair value, getting over the FTX collapse. And here's what you see. January, huge gains. And what we need to keep an eye out for, folks, is Fed Chair Jerome Powell is going to be speaking at the end of this month. Now, Blacksea, we had a 0.75% interest rate hike for a while. I mean, we were getting that for a while. So recently, in the last Fed rate hike, they lowered it to 0.5. And what did we see? We saw this 39% pump in January, basically, after the Fed, eased and kind of backed off, got a little more dovish. Instead of very hawkish and being very strict and trying to really fight inflation, the fight's working, so they lowered it to 0.5. Now people are rumoring that it's going to get lowered to even a 0.25% rally. In your opinion, do you believe that February for that alone should be bullish? Or do you think there's other factors coming in that I'm missing?
Oh man, Jerome likes to it's honestly Jerome and the Federal Reserve, they try not to surprise anybody. They're they don't want people panicking. They don't want people, causing bank runs and whatnot. But I will say that I wouldn't be surprised if it's a point 0.5.
Yeah.
I won't be surprised if it's a 0.25. But and I won't be surprised if they don't raise the rates at all. But I will say that as long as it's not above 0.5, we should not have a dump. As long as it's not above 0.5. Because I will say that a very curious thing that I've noticed is that Jerome likes to capitalize on when the markets are showing strength. He kind of likes to use that as an excuse to say, oh, the markets are strong. They can handle another rate hike. They can handle it. And, it's pretty curious. But I'm thinking we're going to have some good movements. We are battling inflation, definitely, and we're succeeding. We definitely are succeeding. But I don't think the market can really handle much more when it comes to rate hikes. And I really would like to see a 0.5 or 0.25. And if we do get a 0.25, I wouldn't be surprised if we have a significant rally.
Yep. Yeah, and I'm thinking we're going to get it. I mean, I'll disagree with you on this, though. If we get a 0.5, I'm short-term bearish, to be honest with you. If in my opinion, if we get a 0.5, I'm short-term bearish because I'm seeing a lot of hype. A lot of people are excited about a 0.25, and I think people will get their dreams crushed. But if I'm short-term bearish, guys, remember we had a 39% pump in January. I'm talking about just a slight retracement. I don't think we're making new lows off news like that. But I'll say this. If we saw a 0% rate hike, I'm like the most bullish I've been since when Bitcoin went up $10,000 overnight back in the last bull run. Like, I'm going to be so excited. And so should you, really. But smash up the like button, guys. We got 47 viewers. We got 16 likes. I know you guys can smash that like button. If you don't, then maybe we won't get a green February. So you don't want that. You better smash up like. If you guys are on your mobile phone, by the way, all you have to do to smash the like button is X out of the chat, hit the like button, then you can go back into the chat. But we do appreciate the support here. And just so you know, this FOMC meeting is coming up officially. Here's the calendar. January 31st and February 1st, they will be meeting. So we'll have that coming out at the end of the month. I'm looking for some bullish catalysts from this, so getting excited. And then we won't have the next one until March, which will be very, very interesting to see. So this is something that could propel us, guys. It could also stall us out. Let us know what you guys think's coming up for Jerome Powell and the Fed when he does come out. Now, we got to get a little bit heated up, guys. So we got to talk a little bit about Senator Elizabeth Warren, who is not a fan of crypto and is apparently a big fan of Gary Gensler. So let's just take a walk back down memory lane here, okay? So let's just take a look at it. Gary Gensler met with Sam Bankman-Fried for months, several times leading up to the FTX collapse. And we had no warnings from Gary Gensler. There have been people that they have left the SEC because of all the controversy around this and FTX and the meetings. And she comes out and she praises the SEC. And she wants the SEC to continue to regulate crypto. Elizabeth Warren is, AKA the banking broad, loves the banks. She says that she likes to fight the banks, but she loves the banks, and they lobby for her like crazy. She is slamming crypto lobbyists right now. She is praising Gary Gensler, who is proven to be corrupt, basically, at this point. And she is going on the arguments that we've seen time and time again. The SEC has worked to protect investors from crypto, blah, blah, blah. And most importantly, it appears that the commission is still ramping up, and that's why the industry is scared of the strong SEC, and that's why it's spending millions of dollars each year lobbying to escape the SEC oversight, says Elizabeth Warren. Now, Blacksea, she is the banking broad. This is a fact at this point, okay? Now, millions of dollars each year lobbying for crypto, that's not okay. But is it okay to lobby as a bank with millions of dollars?
Of course.
Of course
because
it is.
As long as they pay you. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's insane. That's insane. It's so typical and it's so classic to see these guys, these dinosaurs talking about crypto, and they'll talk about whatever, as long as it lines their pocket. That's all they care about, and whatever benefits their pocketbook and their bank account, that's what they'll be for. And I hate saying that, but it's really came to that, especially in the SEC. It's a shame. It's a
Yep.
shame.
It's a shame. Here's another quote. The SEC should double down and use its tools to enforce where the SEC needs more cops on the beat. Then Congress needs to step up with the resources and the new authorities that are needed so we can make sure that the SEC can do its work at full strength in every corner of the crypto market. I'm trying to do my Elizabeth Warren, She comes in as like this caped hero and praises the SEC, full strength, every corner, all the resources, step up. We'll step up. I'm using political language. And then we got to go to this and remember, Gary Gensler's been criticized for allegedly holding meetings with Sam Bankman-Fried, who was once Washington, D.C.'s crypto darling for a time. 2 in 3 Congress people, guys, accepted money from the FTX team. A CoinDesk investigation this month revealed that 1 in 3 lawmakers had received donations from FTX before its collapse. This is ridiculous, okay?
It's so like it's a comedy when you really like put it all together. It's so funny. Like how does it like how can they say these things when if you just take a second to Google what's been going on and you see what's actually been going on behind the scenes, you're like, how can you say that lobbying for banks is okay, but I don't know. It's just crazy.
It's just so ridiculous. I mean, we don't even talk about pharmaceutical companies. We don't even talk about oil companies. Lobbying is shady business no matter what it is. And you know what? The only reason she doesn't want these lobbyists to come in is because they threaten her current lobbyists. And so the people that pay her say, box them out or else we're not going to back you anymore. But what I bet you Elizabeth Warren's going to find out real quick is that she's probably going to make a lot more money from crypto if she were to just get on the Bitcoin train, right? And you know what? I don't even want her to get involved with it, to be honest with you. I just want her to get extinct just like the dinosaurs did with these asteroids, all right? I'm waiting for a political asteroid to come after anybody that's not getting on the Bitcoin and crypto train. And I'm not talking about Republicans and Democrats or one side's better than the other or whatever. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the individuals, coming down to the individuals' policies that they do or do not support. And if you don't support crypto, then you have some other agenda going on, clearly. Now, look, FTX, a problem. We're glad that's gone. There's other bad players in the market. We've seen that. But we want to see crypto come to the future because DeFi and cutting out the middlemen when it comes to finance is important. It's very important. We're getting ripped off by the people that are rich. During COVID, the rich got richer and the poor got poorer. That's a fact. And we need crypto to balance the odds here. We really do. But yeah, Blacksea, I mean, this just infuriates me. And then let's look a little deeper at FTX too. This came out today. This blows my mind. Another just bombshell about FTX. Owes money to Netflix, Binance, Wall Street. I'm not surprised about the Binance thing. Netflix, Wall Street. There are so many in here. Netflix and Apple, okay? Netflix and Apple. American Airlines is involved in this. Spirit Airlines, Southwest Airlines, Stanford University. All these people lent this con man money, and he still owes them. This just shows you how irresponsible and ill-informed and how they don't do any due diligence, right? He's got friends in high places, so the high connections told the other, big players, Netflix, American Airlines, these huge Fortune 500 companies, right? These huge companies, hey, you know what? He's the crypto darling. He's good. His parents were professors at Stanford. They're good people. We know the Bankman-Frieds. They're great people. We'll invest in them. He owes these people money. Everybody got duped by this duper. And I just can't believe it. I guess I can. We keep going through this. Everything's believable when it comes to this. But we don't have any details. How much does he owe them? Why did all these companies get duped by FTX?
They were just all in it together. I really believe it at this point. This web is too intermingled for them not to be in it together. I think there was an agenda, a tinfoil hat talk, but I really think that it was an agenda, and we'll wait and see. We'll see how hard this crypto regulation comes out around the corner, and it'll probably be due because of this. And who knows? Maybe that was the entire reason about this. Maybe we'll start seeing the central digital bank currencies coming out around the corner. Because I wouldn't be surprised about that. Because honestly, in politics they say never let a crisis go to waste,
Yep.
and this would be a perfect opportunity for them to regulate crypto into the ground.
Yep. So here's something I want to mention too. So CBDCs, I don't really want my identity tied to like a CBDC and digital banks, and they can unbank me if they choose. And I really don't like the idea of that, but it's probably coming, guys. It probably is. But here's something I'll say: Bitcoin's getting more and more awareness because as these stories are starting to come out, you've got some of the biggest influencers in the world right now talking about crypto. So Blacksea, I was listening to a Joe Rogan podcast today, and Joe Rogan's one of the largest podcasters on planet Earth right now. So smash up the like button if you like Joe Rogan, and smash up the dislike button if you don't. But I was listening to his podcast today, and he had somebody on, and for a good 20 minutes, they were talking about Bitcoin. They were talking about how this guy's just DCAing into Bitcoin. The banks and all, the money printing, right? 40% of all the money that we've ever printed was printed over the last 3 years since the I guess the Biden administration really came into the picture, since COVID came along, right? Since we've been dealing with all this, 40% of all the money that's ever been printed was printed in the last 3 years. That's unbelievable. And Bitcoin is getting more notoriety than ever before. And so the more this bad news comes out and the more we're starting to learn about this, the bigger influencers are starting to talk about it, and it's just too big to ignore. It's just too big to ignore. So,
yeah,
Netflix, Wall Street getting into crypto, I don't blame them, but man, they really messed up. I can't believe they got into FTX.
Yeah, I think that's really crazy to think about that, and that there isn't more outrage when it comes to that. 40% of all the money was printed in the past 3 years. Just printing the value of your dollar, the money that you made working your butt off at work, doing whatever you do, 40% of that value gone.
Yep.
Gone. You were working for free for half of that time, basically. It's just
these are the
I don't understand.
These are the people that are responsible too. It's our politicians, not just her. A lot of politicians that are responsible. Yeah, let's keep printing. Let's print. Let's give everybody free money. They didn't even see the foresight, and so they want to protect us from crypto. Okay, they can't protect us from themselves, though. Okay, like I don't want you to protect me from anything. I want to make the mistakes that I'm gonna make. Right? Protect me from missiles, please, and then the rest, like let me live and let me do what I want to do. But like,
I like that.
yeah, like that's it. That's all I need protection from. So fund the military or something. Like I don't need the SEC getting more to. They met with Sam Bankman-Fried. Like duh. But that Joe Rogan story, man, I thought you'd get a kick out of that one. Pretty interesting.
Very interesting. Happy to hear the mainstream media actually talking about it. And I would go and venture to say that like the Joe Rogan podcast is kind of like the people's news. I would go to say that. And so it's pretty cool to see them talking about that.
Yeah, because he's like, he comes out, he says like, I don't know anything, right? Like, and he knows like things that he picked up along the way in life. At the end of the day, like, we're not professional investors, guys. We've just been investing for a while. We're not giving you financial advice. We're giving you guys entertainment. We're giving you value in our experience in life. And that's really all anybody could do, right? And so I like the Joe Rogan podcast because he's just talking about things that he's learned along his life. And like, if he gets proven wrong on something, he'll be the first one to admit it. And I think that's what we all got to do, right? Like, I used to like FTX token. When I found out the information that I now know about FTX, I'm open-minded enough to say it's over. I'm done with it. Litecoin, something the same. I don't want Litecoin. I don't want Terra Luna either. I'm open-minded enough to switch. We're all learning here, and so the people's news, Blacksea. I love that line, man. That's what we want to be here. That's what I think Joe Rogan's trying to do. There's a lot of great podcasters out there trying to do the same because we're not trusting CNBC and Fox News and CNN. Those are dead. Those are on the way out. It's all about, these publications and then, folks like us, folks like Joe Rogan, folks like other influencers in the space, reporting on it. Look at this one, though. SEC rejects another Bitcoin ETF. So, again, we got rejected from the Bitcoin ETF.
This is for ARK Invest, but let's talk about Grayscale Bitcoin and Trust
Oh yeah.
being rejected how many times? I think 5 or 6 times,
Yep.
and now they're actually suing the SEC. They just don't want to give that green light. The regulators don't want to give Bitcoin the green light of saying, yeah, ETF, Bitcoin, spot ETF, because you know what will happen? The price of Bitcoin will fly. It will
Yes.
fly. There will be billions and billions and billions, even trillions of dollars will flow into Bitcoin and crypto as a whole when the spot Bitcoin ETF gets actually released. And that's what they don't want that to happen yet. They're not ready for it. Maybe
Nope.
they're not finished collecting and loading their bags. I don't
Yep.
know.
I don't think they have their horse in place yet for the race, right? They did. They thought they did. It was FTX. Now they
Yeah.
don't. So maybe that's what it is. Yeah, no, great point. I mean, this is the institutional investor wave that you're probably looking for. We need some of these ETFs to get listed. So we'll have to see, guys. We'll have to see. But smash up the like button if you're looking for a Bitcoin ETF. Really appreciate you guys smashing up the like. I see the Miois in the chat. Good to see you. Maybe some sort of discount benefit when fees are paid in CRO. Yeah, sure. Why not? Of course. Let's see that. That'd be fine. Saying I feel like we'd see more interest in volume in the CRO Coin if the exchange goes in this direction. Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool to see. I'm just looking forward to the exchange 3.0 coming out, Meows. That would be great. That would be great to see. A lot of fans of Joe Rogan in the chat, Blacksea. Very, very interesting to see. Very, very cool. Looking at some of the other stories here. Well, trying to pull up my next story. I think that's all we got, actually. Wow. So we're going to keep it short. We're going to keep it brief today. Guys, really, that's all we got. Do make sure you check out our Twitter as well. We're doing a giveaway. We're giving away a loaded lion when we do hit 25K subs on the channel. Also, we will be giving away $1,000 when we hit 10,000 subscribers on the channel, so don't miss out on that. Open to taking some questions from the Crow fam out there, guys. Smash up a like. Smash up the like if you enjoyed the stream here. We got a little bit more time, but yeah, Blacksea. I mean, I'm looking out. I'm waiting for a pump this week. I mean, I'm feeling bullish. I mean, overall, how about you?
Yeah, I'm really. I got my eyes wide open. I'm really curious about Friday. See what happens with the futures close on Bitcoin, and see if we actually get a move to the upside. But like I said, I'm not really stressed out, especially if we're consolidating between 22,000 and 23,000. I mean, that's like perfect
Yep.
altcoin rally territory. But guys, I do want to say that if you do have stuck around this far, please consider becoming a member to the channel. We have lots of cool things for our members. We have each month you are a member, you get 10 additional entries to our loaded line giveaway, as well as access to our private Discord where I give away NFT whitelist spots. We have NFT Alpha. We do trade signals, and you get a little bit more one-on-one experience and community with Crypto Kip and I. And we'll do live Discord calls with you, and just kind of creating a cooler, tighter community. So really excited about that. Please consider it.
Yep. So anybody you see in the chat with the loyalty badges, they've been a member here. You can see how long they've been a member, and they're smashing up the emojis in the box. But make sure you join. Make sure you guys consider doing that. To get access to the private Discord. We're having a lot of fun with that, guys. And we're doing 5 videos every single day. I mean, I could keep scrolling here. We have done so many videos for you guys, and we have a lot more coming. And we're adding more videos about, outside of just Crow, right? Crow's going to $1. We got our bags. We're buying more, but we're looking for other projects for you guys, too. We want you guys to make the most gains possible. Gonna see, I had a question there from a fella named Admiral Horde. Why doesn't Tectonic get more coverage? Almost 200% gains this month. Great question, Admiral. I mean, it's a low cap project. Cronos still doesn't get enough coverage. I actually, I put out a little super chat, Blacksea. I didn't tell you this yet. I put out a little super chat on BitBoy Crypto today because I wanted to ask them. What do you think about, well, I prefaced it this way. Binance is the world's leading exchange. Binance Smart Chain has been a great success. What are your thoughts on Cronos and the crypto.com exchange? Do you think that Cronos is going to make a move kind of like Binance? And they came out and they said, we're afraid of regulation for centralized exchanges, which I totally get. But they didn't really talk about the smart contract play that I was getting at. So my point is, Admiral, sir, I just don't think Cronos gets enough coverage overall. I still think there's a lot of influencers in the space that got to do more digging on it. It's a top 10 ranked total value locked up DeFi project. That being said, it's just not getting the coverage on its own. And so Tonic certainly ain't going to get the coverage that we'd like it to get either. Blacksea, what are your thoughts on that, man? I forgot to tell you about that earlier today.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I think that you're spot on with that. I think it's just Cronos and Crypto.com isn't really getting its rightful time in the spotlight. I think that honestly, that's why it's such a great opportunity in my eyes. That's why I think there's so much room to the upside. It's one of the reasons why I like it so much. But I do think there will come a time where it is truly a competitor with Binance, and it grows to be that size. I really do see that happening.
Yep.
And when it comes to Tonic and nobody really talking about it, I mean, we were talking about it, definitely. Tonic did have a great run-up, and I think you'll see less and less people talk about coins having huge run-ups when it's a smaller cap coin, because there's not as many people involved in it.
Yep, absolutely. Hey, we got some fans in the chat. David Ash, love you guys. You put my crypto anxiety at ease. Glad to hear that. Crypto does bring a lot of anxiety, David. We're super glad to hear that. That's why we wanted to create this channel, to kind of give people that are newer to the space, right, or just feeling panicky, jittery. Look, we know that crypto is here to stay. We know that the future of crypto is coming. It's just, what does that look like? And I'm trying to pick some of the winners. I believe that Crypto.com is doing a great job with regulation. No need to panic. We were all panicking. We were all feeling the panic during the FTX crash, which is totally understandable. But, you don't want to be the person to panic sell, right? We're not trying to invest more than we're willing to lose. And we're trying to make generational wealth for ourselves. And you can do that with a small sum of money over a long period of time in crypto. The S&P 500 goes up on average at 7 to 10% year over year for the past 100 years. I'm excited to see 100 years from now, Blacksea, what's the average gains in Bitcoin and crypto? You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, yeah, very, very curious to think about that. That'd be fun. That'd be a fun little exercise to plan out.
Last question too for Nazar. I'll throw this one at you, Blacksea, and then we'll get out of here. Buy a big bag of Crow now, or wait for FOMC.
Not financial advice, but I would say never buy big bag of anything at once. I would say to dollar cost average into the projects you have conviction for and you truly believe in over an extended period of time.
Yeah, I think that's well said. You know what? I like the DCA strategy. If you want, bigger DCAs because you think the bull run's coming, I could understand something like that. But I don't like to trade so much on the events because they're really scary, especially leverage trading. I do not like to leverage trade around events. There's too much volatility, too many opportunities to get wicked out of a trade. But if you guys do have, nerves of steel and you do want to open a leverage trade, we do have a link in the description down below for BitGet for you guys, and a huge sign up bonus when you do that. And we have a sign up bonus for Binance as well if you want to open an account with Binance. But yeah, FOMC, I'm bullish. But not financial advice. Not financial advice. Nazar, sound advice. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Cleary's Beef, love the update and how you guys are feeling. Can't wait to see what the future holds. The future holds gains, my brothers. We must prepare for the bull run. That's all I got. That's all we got here. Blacksea, parting words for the community leading into the weekend here.
Thanks so much for watching, guys. Always love doing these live streams with Crypto Kip and you guys and having this community. It's a lot of fun, and excited to see you in the next one.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us, folks. Thanks for joining us, Blacksea. Great show as always. Had a lot of fun. Crow fam, so smash up the like button, guys. X out of the chat. Hit the like. Support the channel. Support CRO Coin. Subscribe. And, of course, guys, we got to give your closer, as always. You got to remember to DCA, HODL, and you know that we will see you in the next one. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great night. We will see you next time. Peace.